greens, peas, potatoes. No,
Ham, turkeys, chickens.
yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Truth Revealed podcast, where we host conversations that relate in order to reconcile as we reveal God's truth. We are so excited to have you guys here. We are 1 week out from Thanksgiving. I'm accompanied by my very special co-host, April Rivers.
Hello.
And Holly Harris.
What's up?
All right. So today, in line with the holiday season, we just wanted to have discussion about Thanksgiving Day.
Yay!
And yay! Kind of let
gobble.
You guys, turkeys and gobbles and pilgrims and Native Americans and all that good stuff. So we wanted to just kind of talk to you guys about what we do, what some of our traditions are, what Thanksgiving traditionally looks like for us, dishes, food, best, worst, all that good stuff. But before we go into all the fun stuff, we do want to just give you guys some history about the origin of this holiday. So, in school, we received a very sanitized version of Thanksgiving that kind of went like, the Pilgrims came and they settled, and then they met the Native Americans, and they sung Kumbaya, and the Native Americans taught them how to till the soil, and they had this wonderful feast to commemorate that wonderful collaboration. And there is some truth to that, but there's a dark side to this story, y'all.
Dun, dun, dun.
Literally, it's a don't. So when I was doing the research, just trying to give you guys some history, I had to stop myself from going down the rabbit hole, because it was like, oh, wow. So this is not a podcast about Native Americans per se, but or this particular episode, but just to give you guys some brief history about the origin of Thanksgiving. There is truth to that. The Pilgrims did come, they did settle. The first Thanksgiving has been documented to be around 1621, and that was basically where the natives came and dined with the Plymouth settlers, and history is saying that they dined off deer and geese and turkey and some other birds. I don't know what the vegetables were. I would imagine corn, some mashed potatoes. I don't know. But one of the things that I do think was very important was that there were about 100 people at Thanksgiving. So, y'all tripping over 20, 30 people. They fed 100, and 90 of them were a native, 50 were the Englishmen. And the festivities lasted for about 3 days, because it took and I'm going to make an attempt at this tribal name, Wampanoag tribe, about a 2 days journey, and that was on foot to even reach the settlement. But, prior to the Thanksgiving that we're accustomed to, there was bloodshed prior to, and there was bloodshed after, which I'll talk about just a little bit. So the Wampanoag tribe, their chief, his name was, another name I'm going to attempt, Massasoit, and he was the one who garnered a treaty amongst the tribe and the settlers. And basically what the treaty said was that neither one of them could harm each other. They couldn't kill each other. And that when they met up to do their trading, that the Englishmen had to leave their guns and the natives had to leave their bows. And so that just kind of festered a more copacetic trading environment where, there's no hostilities taking place. And there pretty much was peace amongst the settlers and the natives during this chief's reign. But as all good things sometimes do come to an end, he passed away in 1661. And when he passed away, his son assumed the next position as the tribal chief. His name was Wamsuda. And it was kind of weird because the next year in 1662, he passed away mysteriously. He had went to visit the Puritans and caught a disease or whatever the case may be. Basically, he kind of mysteriously died. So one of the reasons why he was even going to visit the Puritans is because the tensions had kind of started to arise at the passing of his father, who originally garnered that peace treaty. So I think he was kind of going and trying to, navigate, maybe getting back to a place of peace. Well, at his untimely death, there was a new successor, and his name was Metacomet. And with him coming into reign, it just basically flamed the already smoldering fire that was taking place. And, to say it lightly, everything just kind of went downhill. Wow. He being Metacomet was very concerned about the Indians and their land being taken from them, rightfully so. And what he did was he formed this whole coalition of other tribes to kind of like form an allegiance against the settlers. And from that, it began to be fighting and warring. By 1675, 3 natives had been executed, and then and that's kind of what started the whole downward spiral. These natives were executed because a translator for the English was murdered, and from there it just kind of went into this downward spiral. And from that spiral, there was wars and fighting that was taken out amongst the settlements, not only in Connecticut, but in Mass, in Virginia, in New York. And then it just turned into an all-out war with a lot of bloodshed. And, honestly, the thing that Metacomet feared is the thing that ultimately happened, which was the land was taken from the natives. And so today, many Native Americans don't really mark Thanksgiving as a celebratory time. It's normally marked as a solemn day of remembrance. And so I thought that was interesting because, like as Americans, like I said initially, we've been given and fed this very sanitized version of what Thanksgiving is. But for our Native brothers and sisters, it's almost like a turning of the tides, because it was like the beginning of a new world for the English settlers, but it was also the ending of a world for these natives who had been here, all this time. Wow. I hate to go like down that dark road, but I wanted to be truthful about this history that we celebrate. Yeah. So, I thought it would be interesting to just pay homage to our Native brothers and sisters who nurtured this land and took care of this land. And that's something that's very indicative to their culture. They're very one with nature. They're very communal as it pertains to protecting land. And so I thought it would be interesting to just kind of look up history for the three of us as far as our Native ancestry, because all Black people got a little Indian in them.
A little Indian in our family.
Just a little bit. Now, some of us have a little bit more than others. My sister Holly here, she probably could go on a reservation and find a cousin.
Oh, Lord, help us,
I might
Jesus.
could go on a reservation and find a distant,
Lord.
way down the road. Look at them cheekbones.
Oh, Lord.
But, so I did a little bit of research, not extensive. Again, the potential to go down a rabbit hole was like, oh my goodness, I just wanted to keep digging for information. So what I did was, April's mom is from Philadelphia. Holly's mom is from the Chapel Hill, North Carolina area. Holly's father's from an area called Zuni, Virginia, little one stop, like Zuni, Zuni. Zunai, and then my family is traditionally from the Shelby area and Lincolnton area, still in North Carolina. So we're in the western part of North Carolina. So I didn't do a very extensive search as it pertains to my own heritage, because in the western part of North Carolina is pretty much Cherokee land all day long. I'm probably a good hour from the mountains, from Chimney Rock, Cherokee area. So I'm pretty sure that Cherokee is the origin of the tribes that were actually probably in this area. And we actually have pretty close lineage. I think it was my great grandmother on my great grandmother on my mother's side, as my mother's dad's mother was Indian and actually lived on the reservation. And then on my mom's side, I had a great grandmother that was of Indian descent. My sister did some checking of the history for us on that, and I would like to find out more. But Holly's family, now her mom is from the Chapel Hill area, and I didn't do a deep dive into that area, but I did do a little bit of a deeper dive for the Zunai part of Virginia, which is in Wyatt County. And it's, if you check it out on the map, it's right above the North Carolina line, but more on the eastern side of Virginia. So it's closer to the water. And the tribe that I think was there, I think I did pre-colonial, was a tribe called the Nottaway, Nottaway. And then there was another tribe that was listed that I'm probably gonna pronounce this incorrectly, but I'm kind of doing it the way it looks. It's Weepamoc, so it was Weepemoc, and I think they were all under the banner of a chief or a tribe called the Powhatan, Powhatan. So I thought that was interesting, just about the Indians that lived and tilled the land. And then for April's family, who her mom's originally from Philly and her dad's from the Rocky Mount area. The tribe that was attributed as called the first Philadelphians, they're called Lenni Lenape, and that's Lenni-Lenape. So, bear with me with the spelling and the pronunciation. I feel like I'm pronouncing Bible names. Nobody gets so yeah, right. But I just thought that was interesting because I wanted to pay homage to our Native brothers and sisters during this time that, we celebrate this time. This whole podcast is going to be us talking about the celebratory aspect of Thanksgiving. But the reality is for some, and some specifically for our Native brothers and sisters, this is a time of solemnness. This is a time of them remembering that the tides began to change when the settlers came. And, we could do a whole podcast about the Trail of Tears and just the disenfranchisement and the things that have taken place to our Native brothers and sisters. So we just want to pay homage and thanks to the Indians and the natives who took care of this land that we get to call home. Even though it was taken from them, it's rightfully theirs.
Absolutely.
And it was rightfully theirs. And we just wanted to say thank you for all of our Native brothers and sisters who may listen, for all of those with a little bit in them, little Cherokee. And we are appreciative of this moment, the pre-Christmas time to be thankful. Although I do feel like Thanksgiving is being severely overlooked. Severely. Because I've been riding around and I'm seeing full-fledged decorations, Christmas.
Honey,
I'm talking
Christmas
about
movies, everything.
The movies are out.
Yep.
The stores ain't safe, so they ain't thankful. It was like
They're
It was
not
like
thankful.
they're not thankful. It was Halloween, Christmas. They completely bypassed Thanksgiving. But I was like driving around, not just driving around, but driving to get gas, and I saw a house and it was like lit up. And I was like, dang, most people wait till the day after Thanksgiving
Honey.
or either Thanksgiving Day to start doing their decorating or whatever. But it seems like I think people are just like over 2020, so they like, let's just move this,
Ah!
let's just move this year along. But
Mm-hmm.
we here at Truth Reveal really did want to take the time to just be thankful and
Yeah.
to, share with you guys some of the things that we are thankful for individually, and then some of the things that we're thankful for as a podcast, the three of us that make up this podcast. And so I wanted to ask you guys, like, traditionally, what takes place for you all for Thanksgiving? Do you guys do the cooking? Do you assist with the cooking? Is that left up to someone else? Like, what does that look like in your family setup?
April.
Okay, she putting it on me first. Well, it depends on how far back in history you're going now.
I
Cause
mean, like from childhood to adulthood.
well, as a child, and I don't know if this is for everyone, it always went to the oldest maternal person. So we would normally went to my father's mother's house. Y'all know a little bit about my background. The audience probably does. Or for those of you who don't know, my dad was in the military. So depending on where we were located at the time, but for the times that we lived in, we were stationed in Fort Bragg. That was a road trip. Thanksgiving was not spent at our home. It was spent going to grandma's house and great grandma's house in Rocky Mount. So that's what we did. And then as an adult, when I was married to my boy's father, it would be one 1 year with my in-laws and 1 year with my family. So it's pretty much I've never really been the host. I've only hosted Thanksgiving twice.
Oh wow.
Twice
Okay.
in my adulthood. Because y'all know this part that my mother has passed away. So, and I have a beautiful stepmom. But my mother is no longer with us. And yeah, normally it just went to grandma. We just everybody go to grandma's house. But even as grandma's getting older in her body, she can't do what she once did. It's kind of changing the dynamic of the hosting. But for the most part, like I said, I've only hosted Thanksgiving 2 times in my adult life. It is normally means a road trip. Me and the kids are going somewhere else and we'll just bring a dish or what have you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, growing up, my parents, their siblings and their, family, we never really went to any of their homes or whatever. We always, stayed just with us, just the nucleus of the family. Um, my lord. And so yeah, we just stayed mainly with the nucleus of the family, and every year at the same house, doing Thanksgiving. When my mom was alive, she did do a lot of the cooking, but once she got sick, my dad kind of took over that thing, and kind of was the one in the kitchen. My daddy can burn, y'all, my lord.
All right now, Daddy.
But
Okay, Mr. Harris.
yeah, so he kind of took over the cooking, and then once she passed, of course, he kept the cooking going, and then so we started chipping in after that. And so, usually I'll, get home and try to peel and cut sweet potatoes, and and then me and him, we work on the stuffing together. So that's one of the things, the traditions that me and my father do every year is working on the stuffing. My sister Joy, she usually does the potato salad. My father, of course, he usually does the turkey the night before, the ham the night before, all of that kind of stuff. We do the macaroni and cheese the day of. But we basically eat the same thing every Thanksgiving. There's turkey, ham, what is it? Stuffing, macaroni and cheese, collards, which he usually does that the night before. I'm trying to think. Did I say macaroni and cheese? Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greens, peas, potatoes. No,
Ham, turkeys, chickens.
You name
yeah, they and so my
You know
daddy
what? They
used
need
to
to
do that.
start circulating it. They ain't seen that yet.
I know, I
Ah, you
know.
gonna see it in probably on Thanksgiving, but yeah, so I'm trying to think. Yeah, so but now my brother Matt, he loves to cook now, so he does a lot of cooking and Lord being inviting everybody from the neighborhood over to eat. I'm just like, what is going
You want to
on?
feed the hood,
Like,
honey. You want to
can
feed
Feed
the
the
you
hood.
hood.
do y'all have your own families where
You
y'all can
know
eat?
what?
But Lord, but they love his cooking, and so they come in droves. So he kind of took that gene from my father, and so he kind of cooks because my dad and he remarried, and so my stepmom, she does cooking at her house, and then sometimes we kind of get together, and then sometimes kind of do the separate thing, but usually, every Thanksgiving we kind of get together. But that's kind of how the dynamic has been in my house. So
I want to go back because she done talked about dishes. I ain't know it was time. I want to
oh
talk about.
We gonna get to dishes. We gonna get to
Okay.
oh,
dishes.
I don't know, Lord, I let the cat out the
No,
bag. Go
no,
ahead.
you let the cat out the bag. Well, my Thanksgiving probably was a little similar to April's. Pretty much, my grandmother, when she was living, she would pretty much do Thanksgiving. She was the second oldest of 9 children, and half of the kids were here in North Carolina, and the other half were in Maryland. So we didn't do a lot of traveling as a child as it pertains to going upstate or whatever for Thanksgiving. Everybody kind of did their own thing. So my grandmother would cook, and then her sisters would cook, and then we do a little house hopping. But then as we got older, after my grandmother passed away, my mom started cooking more and we started doing Thanksgiving, with her. And then, here lately, what we've been trying to do is, one year we would have Thanksgiving in the South, and then one year we would have it up north. And I actually like that because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't see family until it's a funeral, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it was like it's a happy occasion. We're all there. We rent out a hall or the church cafe, church fellowship hall or whatever, and all the family in North Carolina will cook. Everybody has designated things that they cook because you're cooking for like a drove of people. And then it's the same way up north. This year, not pre-COVID, because we're in the middle of COVID. Every man for himself, seems like.
Yeah.
So that's a segue actually, because as I got older as a child, I pretty much stayed with my mom's side of the family doing Thanksgiving. And then as I got older and was able to drive and things like that, I would split myself between my dad's side of the family and my mom's side of the family. So I was telling April, my dad's side of the family was like, Thanksgiving is canceled. Fine.
Oh Lord,
Pitch your own food. We
govern
not
yourselves
gathering.
accordingly.
Govern yourselves accordingly. We are not meeting.
Mm.
And I do hate that I'm not going to be able to see them because I don't see them as often.
Mhm.
But I was just like, oh my God. Whew. Because Thanksgiving Day, I'm exhausted. April has spent
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day with me. And it's like my dad's side of the family is very punctual about dinner start time. And so
Whew.
when they say dinner is starting at 3, dinner's starting at 3. Like everybody's there, things are in place. Bless my mama heart. I don't know when we're gonna eat. It's like an ongoing thing. We eat late, it feels rushed. And then I always feel rushed because I'm trying to spend time with both sides of the family. So this year I kind of do welcome not having to like eat up the highway and back and forth. So normally on Thanksgiving, by the end of Thanksgiving Day, I'm like pooped.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you do any cooking?
Well, that's a tender spot for me because my family doesn't think that I can cook. So they never give me any responsibilities. And then they talk about me because I don't cook. And I'm like, but you said I can't cook. So I don't want to go there because it brings up,
seems very
it's a
tender.
trigger point. It's a trigger point. I'm going to be doing some things of my own. When I do host Sunday dinners, the greedy jokers come and eat me out of house and hold, but they steady complaining about what I cannot do. I normally don't take dishes, especially to my dad's side of the family because because my aunties can like straight up burn. And they always do. We always have hors d'oeuvres before we have Thanksgiving, but we're always so full off the hors d'oeuvres that by the time it's time to eat the real meal, I'd be like, really? Like, what? But with my mom's side of the family, I do try to do a lot of prep. So all that cutting up potatoes and dicing and this, that, and another, and running to the grocery store, that is just as important as cooking.
I'm just testifying to dicing up the potatoes. That's the one thing
I
hate the most. And my mom was a good cook. She was my mom, I used to call her semi-homemade. That's because I was like, yeah, I could tell you was flying the 80s because them 80s women, they started, having their careers and saying, I got other stuff I got to do besides be in the kitchen all day. And I called her semi-homemade, but my mom, when it came to she was the macaroni person. Like y'all know, we got them couple dishes, especially in our community.
Only one person can make.
Well, you can't just come in and think you just gonna throw some macaroni and cheese out there. You can't eat everybody the macaroni and cheese or the potato salad. And my mother was excellent at both of those, to the point where other people would have functions and ask her to make that. And I didn't learn, but nevertheless, I would call myself trying to tip in like the night before Thanksgiving after I get off work and try to be like, all right, Ma, you looking good in there. And she'd be like, girl, if you don't come on in here and start peeling these potatoes and stop trying to go hide in that room or whatever. And I hated it. But I thank God for it, though, because it taught me how to dice them up to where they're not too small and they get mushy or get boiled down to mashed potatoes, and not too big to where it's hard for them to get done. I tell you, I can cube a potato now.
You can cube a potato.
I can cube a potato. I can peel and cube a potato as much as I don't like to.
Speaking of potatoes, my daddy would have me peeling them doggone sweet potatoes every year and cutting them up. But we never had any knives. The only knife we had was this dull knife that he had for about 20, 30 years.
My daddy, that was his good knife.
Honey, dull as I don't know what. He would take it outside and sharpen it on a rock. Seriously, every year.
Go, Mr. Harris, let it go.
He would.
That's so sad.
Sharpen it on a rock. But I mean, and when it comes to knives, they say, hey, the sharper the knife, the better, because if it's dull, you may cut yourself. I would be in there trying to cut them sweet potatoes. Oh my God.
Glad you got your fingers, girl, but God.
But God.
Because sweet potatoes are way tougher to cut than regular potatoes.
Child. And I would be in there, but he would swear it would be sharp out there. And then another thing, did y'all have this happen in y'all house? We had to resort to getting paper plates and paper cups because it seemed like, I don't know if people were throwing away. My daddy would be like, what happened to all the forks? What happened to all the cups? Y'all throwing them away. So we just had to resort to paper products every year because we don't never have enough cups, plates, or forks.
We didn't never use real stuff. One, because my mom was like, "Look, I'm tired. Once I cook
I'm not washing
dinner,
no dishes.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm not washing no dishes." And I was the one having to wash the pots. Oh, that was my other job.
Oh wow!
After she's making and throwing and slinging and doing and throwing stuff in the water.
I was responsible for kitchen duty, and because I'm a little OCD. My mom was like the type of cook. Like April's mom was like, the kitchen would look like somebody been cooking in it. My OCD would have me shaking, like, oh my god. I would have to like clean up while she was cleaning, so that was a whole nother process. But I did not have the drama or the trauma of having dual knives because
Honey.
Maylee had we had a peeler. The little thing that you
Y'all
peel
was so
potatoes.
fortunate.
Yes, I know you was
We
loved there.
did. She got us a peeler. But yeah, she used to fuss every year because my mom would try to do fancy stuff. That she would bring out the china and decorate the table and put
Oh.
her little crystals on there, and then she'd be hollering, "Y'all done threw my forks away."
Does every black family say that the forks get
Girl.
thrown away?
But real
I think
talk,
it's
I'd be
true.
like,
It's
where
true.
are all the forks? Like seriously, it'd be like 5 forks and 15 people in the house. I'm like,
Literally, what happened to the
eating with
fork?
spoons and stuff.
Having to share cups. You finish with your cup, watching it happening.
That is rough.
That's
Oh,
rough.
I'm telling you.
That's rough.
That's rough.
Ooh, Father.
Oh my goodness, that is funny.
Oh,
So
on a rock.
we know what you guys did as far as growing up. Are you guys, what's the plans for this year? You know, we're in this COVID nation right now. So what is Thanksgiving going to look like?
I did vacillate back and forth about whether or not I was going to go home or whatever. But I think I am going to go to see my dad. But I'm trying to figure out if I can get a COVID test first because I'm just, you know, I don't know if I can go somewhere and get tested just to make
You
sure I ain't
can.
got no, you know.
Call your clinics now, and see if there's any units that have free testing. Cause like my job tests us. For those of y'all who don't know, my nonprofit, they have clinics. So I go get it. I've been tested. I can go get tested right before the holiday, me and my children. But see if there's free, and if there's not free, I know, sweet, I think you did a drive up one.
I can give you the information for a drive up test. It's a
Okay.
rapid, so it should come back in 48 hours. And then
Okay.
CVS does COVID testing as well. That's free. And I think it comes back in, it says 7 to 10 days, but it normally comes back sooner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am gonna go and see him, but I think I am gonna do a COVID test first. Because I have been fortunate enough that my family hasn't been affected, and I want it to stay that way.
Amen.
I know my niece. There was somebody that she knew that had it, and then her and her baby had to be tested, and so it came back negative. Thank God, but I just don't, my Lord, want no craziness to break out. So yeah, but I am gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents are only 30 minutes up yonder, in the next county over. So I will be, me and the boys, we'll be within the little guidelines, but we gonna gather together. I'm looking forward to it because I'm telling you, this whole thing, it is a psychological impact on just not being able to be around people, like that, so I'm looking forward to just doing what we do. I'm looking forward to good food. I'm looking forward to laughing. I'm looking forward to Uno and whatever games and the kids running around. I'm just looking forward to enjoying and having a time of rest from our regular hustle and bustle, our regular scheduled 2020 program.
Right.
I want to pretend it ain't even happening.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
At least certain things. But yeah,
Things.
we are going to go to my dad's house.
Okay.
Well, I told you guys, my dad's side of the family was like, they sent this text out like, I swear about a month or two ago. Thanksgiving is canceled. I was like,
My.
oh, okay. But my mom's side of the family, my mom said she's gonna cook, and she's gonna bring her clients to her house and host them.
Okay.
And I think my sisters, they're probably gonna do their own thing with their families. So these are the people that I'm pretty much in contact with on a regular basis anyway. So I probably will That's three
Visit
different
everybody's
houses.
house.
Yeah, yeah, because I see them pretty like every day anyway.
Yeah,
It's not anybody outside of the norm that I'm not seeing.
got you.
And unfortunately, my sister's a nurse, so she has to get tested pretty weekly, like pretty much weekly because of work.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other sister, bless her little heart, she keeps encountering people who have been
Oh
exposed
my
to. So
goodness.
she was recently tested last week. I've been tested, not recently, but um, I know that we're adhering to, as far as I know that we wear masks and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature to just kind of help from a preventative measure. So I felt safe communicating and like just hanging out with them. um but I really just envision being in loungewear on Thanksgiving Day and just having food accessible to me. Like that would be an
Ah.
ideal Thanksgiving Day. Like wake up, take a shower, put on some lounge clothes, eat, take a nap,
See, let me
watch a
tell y'all.
movie. Yeah, I'm just tired.
Yeah, y'all, did y'all
Yeah.
used to have to get dressed? My mama would get dressed to the nines on Thanksgiving Day. We used to have to dress
I
up to
used
go
to
to
dress up.
the
I
living
used to
room.
dress up. I
Child,
did.
no,
To
we
go to
ain't
my
do none of
grandmama
that.
living room. That's
Yep.
when you wore your boots that you hadn't worn yet. Your
Hmm.
new boots, leggings, your new sweater, your new
I did.
whatever.
I
Even
used
if
to
it wasn't
dress
even
up.
cold yet, like
Ooh.
Right.
yeah. So we used to have, there wasn't no lounge wear. It was, you need to look good. It's Thanksgiving.
Well, this is in my ideal world. If I weren't celebrating Thanksgiving with other people,
Oh
it would
yeah.
be on
Yeah.
the couch in loungewear. But I do remember, like, I didn't get church dressed up, but I definitely got business casual,
Right.
slacks, sweater, boots, like dressed up to go to whoever's house I was going to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do like jeans and stuff, but you again, you gonna
Yeah.
wear your nice boots, your nice sweater, your hair need to be whatever.
Makeup, all that,
The
all that.
lipstick, all of that, just to go to
I
your
wonder
grandma
where
living
that
room.
came from.
I don't know. I think it's a thing where we say this occasion is special,
Special. Yeah.
Got you.
and we associate that with looking,
Looking
being
the part. Hmm.
presentable. I guess I might be reaching, but that
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
got you. So, do you
Hmm.
guys have any best and worst Thanksgiving memories?
I would say the best. I don't know if I can really pinpoint, like anytime like all of us are able to get together, like my sister who lives in Maryland and her husband and children, and they're able to come to get down, and we all my all of my siblings, my father, all of us are able to spend Thanksgiving together. Those are the best Thanksgivings because
Yeah.
we love having deep conversation. I mean that we be up to the especially me, my sister, and my brother-in-law. Like we be talking about everything, the Illuminati, just all kind of
That's
conspiracies
right.
and
Right.
just everything. And it's always so good. The fellowship is always so good when we all come together. I kind of hate when we're in our separate
Yeah.
places or whatever, but it is what it is, when it comes to that. But yeah, so anytime we're all able to get together, those are the best Thanksgivings. Worst might have been last Thanksgiving. um
No.
yeah, I went down and I don't know, it just didn't
Oh.
feel like the same, like it when it came to us really bonding as a family. Like I told you, my brother, he can throw down, and so everybody from
Mhm.
the community was there. And so as a family, we didn't really get to spend any time together. So it kind of felt like I was just eating a plate and hey, how y'all doing? But it was kind of, they were really engaged with everybody that came over there versus us really being able to get together as a family. So I would say that was because I'm the type of person, I guess, yeah, quality time is my love language. So, I love spending time with my family. I love spending time with friends. So anytime I kind of, that feels out of whack. It's like, so I
Mhm.
would say last Thanksgiving, and then definitely the first Thanksgiving that my mom was gone.
Mhm.
That was rough trying, navigating through that. So
Yeah.
I would say those two. And it gets, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, being single and not having any children, it does get more difficult as I get older because, my all of my sisters have kids. My oldest sister, she's married. So when people are in their separate places, that longing is there as well the older that I get. So Lord, this has become a therapy session, but go.
Girl, talk. Come on, talk it
Talk
out.
it
Talk it
out.
out.
Talk it out. This is good. This is good.
But
This is a
yeah,
safe
so
place.
for any, single people out there, I feel you, when the holidays come around, how you can feel, even when you're going home to family. It's like, especially if you have other family members that are already married, or if they have children, you kind of, well, here I am again, just,
Don't do that.
well,
I
look,
forgot my shirt.
No, tell your truth.
I
Tell
gotta
your
get my
talk your truth.
shirt.
I
yeah,
know
so
I was getting ready to say that, sweet. Where your
yeah, you
shirt
need to
at?
get that
Is
together.
it possible that I can get it before Thanksgiving?
If you want it, you can have
Look, the audience don't know what we talking about, y'all.
Let me tell y'all about this
all right.
shirt.
Don't tell
So
nobody.
I ain't gonna
Somebody
tell
might
y'all.
steal it.
Yeah, they might steal my idea, but essentially, it's what Holly was saying. It's even worse when I go. When we did like the communal Thanksgiving when I'm visiting with my family up north, and like everybody from the South goes up north because these are my cousins and aunties and people that I don't see on a regular basis. So they don't know what's going on in my life. And
Yeah.
I'm like, if I got to explain why I'm single, why I'm not married, and why I have
Mm.
kids to one more person, I'm about to just go get on the PA system and be
Ooh.
like, here is the reasons why. So I told Holly in April that I have this shirt that I created. We actually already created. We just haven't sent it to press. That kind of gives a little explanation. It's laced in a lot of sarcasm.
Ah.
But I was like, oh my goodness, I get tired of answering that
Mhm.
question. Like I think it's not that it's like I'm okay with my status as it is. Like, I'm not fretting over it. But when
Mhm.
when you're constantly asked the same question by multiple people, it does become like, well, should I be more concerned than I am? Because
Ah.
everybody else seems to be quite concerned that I'm single with no
Yeah.
kids and not married. So it just kind of highlights it more. And those are the things that you talk about when you meet up for family stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with you? You
Mhm.
still haven't met nobody? I'm
Nah.
like, "Mm,
But
I
yeah,
ain't gonna
but
tell you
just
if I have, but that's another story."
you silly. But yeah, but just going, back to that, just trying to, relate to the singles who may be, listening, or if you have lost a loved one, it can be especially difficult, especially with COVID, and people have lost loved ones this year, and they're experiencing their first Thanksgiving without them. So for them, this to them may be the worst
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, so
yeah,
but yeah, so so it's just one of those things, and I'm the type of person where I am for the most part content in my singleness, but there's certain times of the year, there's certain that kind of highlight that longing for companionship, and the holidays is one of them.
yeah.
And so yeah, so but I ain't mean to go and tell y'all all my
No,
business,
that's
but
good.
No, that's
No,
hey,
that's
we
really
this
good.
still on Thanksgiving. This is
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is good.
I did a
Yeah.
Friendsgiving one year, like, and I was at that time I was living in Charlotte, so I'm only like 45 minutes, an hour from home. I'm not
Hmm.
sure why I did not come home that particular day, but it was like that was my Thanksgiving where I literally was like in my pajamas all day. We cooked, we ate, we watched TV, we fell asleep. Other singles from the church came over, like
That's
people that
awesome.
didn't go visit family or didn't have family in the city, but for whatever reason couldn't travel back home. We
Hmm.
came over, watched movies, like, it was like a good time. So I
Yeah.
would encourage, the holidays are those times where you don't want to be alone. And you don't
Hmm.
have to be,
That's right.
um,
Yeah.
Friendsgivings is a thing. And
It
it was
is.
it was lovely. It was like a highlight Thanksgiving. It was very low key and we just had a good time.
Mhm.
And it was all friends.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, even though I do have children, but I am still single, but I have kids.
Mhm.
Um, single as in unmarried. But anyway,
Mhm. No, no.
but anywho, um, uh, I do understand that sentiment because it was like that. You know, me and Holly both know what it's like to have the ones without
Yeah.
our mother. And that first one without my mom, it felt like I was in the
Mhm.
twilight zone. Didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on. And then also the first holiday that I had, which I think was a Christmas, when the first time after me and my ex were divorced and the kids were away from me for a
Mm.
holiday. That felt like trash. You know, that was
Yeah.
strange. Even though I was like, girl, enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your freedom. Yeah, enjoy my
Mhm.
freedom. But this still like I had kids to raise them and to have memories with them. And now because of my divorce, I have to be alone. You know what I'm saying? It was just,
Mhm.
and I'm just saying that
Yeah.
because we at Truth or Real, we talking this right now. I guess this take the turn. Look, we want this to reach people and miss what people probably need to hear.
Yeah.
That we understand that everybody ain't jumping and hopping and skipping about the holidays, but you don't
Mhm.
have to be depressed.
Yeah.
You don't have to wallow in self-pity.
Mhm.
Friendsgiving is a real thing.
Yeah.
You found somebody else that may have suffered loss or whatever, gone through, and y'all have a time together and cheer each other up and break
Hmm.
bread.
Mhm.
Because your traditions, like Holly said, is starting your own traditions. And
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't have to have the same Thanksgiving that you had with Big Mama, and Big Mama ain't here no more. It's okay. You can start your own and have a wonderful time. And I know one of the Christmases, I don't know if it was the first, it might have been the first one. The first Christmas I think that I did have alone, or maybe the second or third. I don't remember, but I spent it with Sweet. I went to
Mhm.
Charlotte. Yes, I went to Charlotte, and I wasn't alone. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, no, it was that when we went to Pittsburgh. I can't remember, but
We
what
went, no, it was so, I can't remember.
we
We were
did. So,
together.
in other words, I did not sit in my house and cry. Um,
Yeah.
I got out of Dodge, and the
Mhm.
Lord allowed me to have a good sister and friend, and good sisters and friends, to help me along the way. So y'all take that note.
Yeah, if we weren't in a COVID nation right now, honestly, I would. And I love the time of gathering with family and stuff. But I would love to like hang out on Thanksgiving and then Black Friday morning be on a flight somewhere. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
on, like I would love to travel or be out the country um during this time. Because I think when you do have a family, and when I say have a family, like children of your own and things like that, when you're thinking about making memories, most time people want to
Yeah.
make memories with other family members. So you want the kids to
Mhm.
be around their grandparents and their cousins and, things like that. So, just trying to flip it for the single people. This is also a time to do some things out of the quote unquote norm of
Mhm.
how holidays should be spent.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, or they have been
have
traditionally
traditionally
spent.
spent, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to take where we're going, but I want to talk
Go
about the
ahead.
dishes.
Go ahead.
She want to talk
Talk.
about this
The greens,
food.
beans, tomatoes.
Beans,
Yes,
beans, ham.
You name it.
yes, you name it. Because I feel like Holly, we really don't veer. Like I know some people that do all kind of different types of menus. Well, I don't know that many people.
Child,
Let me
the
stop lying.
same
Most of
thing.
my circle is traditional, but we do the same. It's the same thing every year,
Same thing.
but I love it because
Yeah, it'd be
it's
good
stuff
for
I
you.
don't eat. We're not like grandmama and them. At least I'm not. We didn't eat soul food every week.
Mhm.
I don't cook greens and biscuits and yeast rolls and you know and ham and all that stuff. I don't eat that on a regular basis. So
Mhm.
I love it. We do a very traditional menu. I remember one year. Did I answer the question about the best and worst?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think I
so.
did.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we went another way. Well,
okay,
I'll
yeah.
incorporate that. I'll incorporate that. But one year, my dad fried a turkey. We had this when I was with the boy's father. Uh, my ex-husband, made he put one in the oven, and he could burn too. He cooked better than me. And he had did like a marinade and some apple cider,
Ooh,
and all this, and
yummy.
brine the turkey, and that thing was sweet and pretty skin. My dad went out there,
Ooh,
fried that bird so good. Y'all, we ate like we hadn't ate ever. Like, and like
wow.
family, some of the family had come up from Florida. Oh my gosh. We
Mm.
ate like we just didn't have no sense. And we was in our little bitty old townhome, and we was all
Crunched in there
Just
eat
eating. Just
elbow to
taking
with
in.
a
elbow
No.
with a with a plate on your lap.
with a
Woo.
plate
So
on your
many
lap.
people, you ain't got no room to sit down.
Right. And it was
Mm.
delicious, and it was fun and wonderful. Um but yeah, we do now what I have acquired. As far as dishes, since my mom has passed away, and I told y'all she was the potato salad, the macaroni, I still don't know how to make macaroni and cheese, and I know my strengths and weaknesses.
Ooh.
So I will let you know.
Help.
Don't ask me to make the macaroni. I cringe that I did not take time to learn, because you just always think your parents gonna be there. You just
Yeah.
always think they're gonna be there, and you got time and all that stuff. But anyway,
Mhm.
I didn't learn macaroni, but my mom's stuffing. I got it. I
All
got that. I'm
right.
The
confident in
mantle
that.
passed down.
The
Ooh.
mantle passed down. I feel very confident, and people ask for me to make it. So I'm like, okay, cool. When
Mm.
they start asking, for it, then you own to something. And
Right.
then something else that the mantle came with me that I didn't actually want, because the prep work, but greens. I can do some
Okay.
greens. My
Okay, now
greens
go
come out
ahead.
good, but I can't stand washing them. Let me tell y'all something, y'all.
Ooh.
I have bought so many collards last year. Last year was that second time that I hosted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I gave up in the middle of washing greens. I was just like, you know what? If this ain't enough for everybody,
Help
then
us.
we had to get some green beans. I was done. I was washing
Mm.
so many, because you got to get all the bugs and the dirt. Like,
So,
especially, I
Yeah.
I had went to the not the I was at the country grocery store. I got these from, and they were
Mm-hmm.
cabbage collards. Any of y'all who know about that, the hybrid
Oh.
of collards. My mom had turned me on to those when she was still living. She started getting into having cabbage collards. But
Mm.
yeah, so I'm cleaning, and so that
you
they
was
be
doing this the day before Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
yes.
See, you
Twas
got
the night.
the mantle
Oh,
hadn't passed
before.
fully. The mantle hadn't fully passed because my grandma, she wasn't like my mama. My mama just cook whenever she take a whiff of. I guess I'll go ahead and
Ooh.
start preparing Thanksgiving dinner. You think it is
Lord,
Thanksgiving
nah.
Day? No. My grandma was straight up old school. Them greens would have been washed the week before Thanksgiving
The
and
Yeah,
put in the
week
freezer.
before.
Old people prepared.
Good
that's true.
Like
gracious. That's
The
true.
mantle
all her
didn't fully pass. You right.
Ooh.
all her prep work and stuff, that stuff was done like the week prior, days prior. On Thanksgiving Day, she might have got up and made a pan of cornbread, potato salad, not cutting potatoes because they had been cut the night before. Because
Mm-hmm.
can't
Mm.
leave potatoes out long.
Right.
But the little tiny stuff, just okay, whip up this potato salad, eat this
Mm.
stuff up. Lord,
You're right.
let it
You're
Yeah.
right.
rest on
Because my
me.
mother, now I will say,
Oof.
my mama used to, what she called it, she would blend. So she would wash them, and she would just put them in some, what she say, my mother taught without teaching, if that makes sense. Like, I just saw what she did. So
Mm-hmm.
she would clean them, already have them cleaned a week before. Then she would blanch them. She wouldn't season them. She would put some seasoning meat in some water, throw them in there, get
Mm-hmm.
them half done, tender, then bag them in the Ziploc bags and freeze them. Then on the day before or the day,
Wow.
put them in that morning, add your seasoning. That's right. I need all the way mantle. I got the mantle of making
Ooh.
them taste good, but the
Oh,
preparation mantle, I need
we
to
need a
fully.
preparation mantle.
I need a preparation mantle, and I do that with the stuffing. The stuffing, I will. That's done. But see, I got that night before spirit. Towards the night before, that's why I be sleepy on Thanksgiving Day. I be wanting to enjoy myself. I be so tired, when I've done my little tried to host thing. But this year, I'm not gonna be tired, honey. I'm gonna get my rest, and I'm not hosting. But look, y'all, they asked me to make the potato salad,
Oh
and I was like,
Lord.
who told y'all that I should be bringing the potato salad? But you know
Ooh.
what happened? My dad requested it because I made potato salad on a whim. I made potato salad on a whim for, I think, what was it, Christmas? I don't know. I just was doing something, and it was because it wasn't going nowhere but in my house. And my dad came over, he ate some, he liked it. So I guess that one time he had it,
You got you
he
on duty
liked it.
now.
He's like,
Whew.
now go on and do it. And y'all know, y'all pray for me because I'm nervous. I'm nervous because
Help.
other people besides them is gonna be eating this potato salad. They want me
Just
to bring
pray
potato
over it.
salad.
Ooh.
I know I'm gonna pray over it, and they want me to make an apple pie, cranberry sauce.
Okay.
I got something to say about cranberry sauce, but that might be an outtake. Never mind. Anyway, they want me to do the cranberry sauce. And I think that's it. I got to go ask again one more time, but I know.
Whew.
Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all this, because I'm hearing y'all talk about traditional things that you eat. And we, for the most part, we ate, I would say, a pretty standard Thanksgiving menu. It seemed like it had a little bit more stuff going on than y'all's, because we would do stuff like turnips, cabbage, mac and cheese, but then we would also do like the turnips, like the actual root turnips.
Yeah.
I love those. And seemingly I only eat them at Thanksgiving. But did any of y'all eat chitlins?
My
Ooh.
brother be making them things, honey.
You said them things.
I eat one or two before, but I'm just thinking about where they came from. It's like
She said one or two.
This elitist mentality that has gone through the Black community.
Honey, ain't they elitist? This bourgeois.
Elitist. Look, we done got a little bit of knowledge. Now all of a sudden, the stuff we've been consuming and been just fine.
I pray over them things, put some hot sauce on them.
I actually love chitterlings. Let me tell you something. But it's a dying art form. Nobody wants to clean them.
Nobody wants to clean them,
including me. Nobody wants to. I remember my parents going to what we call chitlin cleaning parties. They go over their country friend house and they be in there cleaning chitlins.
When you think about what you cleaning off of them.
Woman, I know what they are. But I didn't know then. I didn't know when I was a child. I didn't know all the years. I was like, it's good. I didn't know all of them years. Now that I got the knowledge, it don't make them no less good.
They still good. My mama, she like the little red.
A lot of our listeners is like, ew.
Look,
y'all probably eat pig feet in the jar too, swimming in a jar. Eggs in jars and all kind of stuff swimming in jars.
Me, I'm so undignified.
I know. I'm country.
Pickle. It's got to be pickle and pickle pig
Look,
feet.
think about what we eat, y'all. We eat chicken gizzards, and I don't know what a gizzard is, but I like chicken gizzards. Am I just country? I don't know.
My family had chitlins in a while, because for those who don't know, when you clean chitterlings, but chitlins is the short. When you clean them, and if they're clean right, you basically, if you get a 10-pound bucket, you're only gonna have 5 pounds by the time it's over, because you cleaning out all the bad stuff. So you have to clean more, and it's a process. Like it's hours upon hours to clean them thoroughly. But then when you cook them, they cook down. So it's like April was saying, like, you kind of got to start cleaning leading up to whatever you're trying to do. And then once you labored in love, because cleaning chitlins is a labor of love. My mama was like the little red hen. Don't tell nobody I cook chitlins. We was on lockdown. What y'all eating? Ham and turkey. We have chitlins. Put in stuff in the back of the refrigerator for family members come over to the house. Y'all ain't no chitlins today. No, ain't nobody want to clean them. The struggle is real.
Yourself.
Keep it for yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't live in this house, and we've been fighting over who ate the last little bit of chitlins, because it's a delicacy. You don't. Only time I really eat chitlins is Thanksgiving, and if somebody clean them on Christmas. I think I haven't had chitlins in probably a year or two because nobody wanted to clean them.
It is becoming a delicacy, y'all. Y'all know what they do. They take the stuff. See, this is the Black History moment for Thanksgiving. You know, they gave us what they could just call the unedible. They gave through us the scraps of the worst of the worst. It's not that we just was looking for nasty stuff to eat. It was because of racism and slavery. They gave us the spare parts, or Jim Crow. And what we did once we learned how to clean, the Lord graced us. We learned how to clean it, not die, and actually make it taste good. Now that nobody wants to do it anymore, you go to some little restaurant where they probably have cleaning them. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg for some chitlins.
Yeah,
they charge you an arm and a leg. It's just like oxtails. Oxtails ain't supposed to be. And stewed beef, the most untender part, piece of beef is expensive. Stewed beef and oxtails, and because they consider it a delicacy now.
Crazy.
Oxtails are very expensive, and they don't even have no meat on them.
Right.
No meat on them. Half them bone. That would be like pork neck bones being expensive. Think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress. But
yeah, I just want to know if y'all was bourgeois too.
I eat the chitlins. Holly ain't down for the chitlins.
My brother, he cooks them, and sometimes I eat one or two, but
one or two. I like that.
My grandma?
One or two fleas.
My great grandma, she used to put a little vinegar and some pepper. Anyway.
Yeah.
Look, now that we done made the listener's stomach turn. For the bourgeoisie.
For the bourgeoisie.
A lot of y'all was like, I wish I knew somebody that was cooking chitlins. And you just shame to say it. It's okay. Don't feel ashamed. Don't you let anybody shame you for your chitlin
Embrace
love.
your truth. It is accepted here. We will not
safe space.
Shame you.
Lord have mercy.
So let me ask you this, because I know my mom does this, and it literally used to irk me to no end. Like I would fuss. And I distinctly remember, and what I'm talking about is Black Friday. So my mom is she really is a shopaholic. I really do feel like she has a slight problem, and I have voiced these concerns.
Bring you stuff every day, furniture.
To no avail. And I'd be like, come on, dude, you don't need anything else. But anyway, she's one of those people. She's a shopaholic, but she's also frugal. So she capitalizes on Black Friday. Like, will get a tribe of people to go with her to Walmart and sit them in position no, like she did that to me before. I want you to stand here. Somebody else is over here at TVs. This person is over there to get, because you know how they have this stuff set up in time frames. Yeah. But I remember distinctly, this is probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Black Friday keeps getting pushed up. It was supposed to, it used to be at like midnight on Thanksgiving.
Then it was 6 o'clock.
Then it was 6, then it was 5, then it was like freaking all day.
Basically.
Well, when they moved it to the early day, that joker, I don't even think she ate. She was like, all right, y'all got y'all food? I gotta go to this. Ma'am, this is a family time. And I was like, don't you continue to perpetuate that cycle. These people need to be with their families as well. Yeah. But if you have consumers coming to the stores, then they can't. So I am, if no good thing came from COVID, I am so happy that the stores are not honoring Black Friday this year.
Yay. And when we say Black Friday, we really mean Black Thursday.
Black Thursday, right?
Yeah, you're right. It was
taking over Thanksgiving. People can't even sit down and eat.
Right. So did you guys like grow up? Was that something that you guys did, like shopping?
We did, like right after we ate, especially when my sister Denise came to town or whatever. It was like a whole thing. And then my sister Joy, she got her children, and so she was trying to Christmas shop for them. I'd be over here, there, everywhere, trying to be in different lines, hurting. I'll never forget that year we drove to Greensboro to go to Toys R Us. I don't even think they still open.
No, they couldn't shut down.
Yeah, we went there, and when I say it was cold that night, and this was when they would not allow you into the stores for Black Friday. we was in a line wrapped around the building, cold, shaking, just to get in there to get some deals for some toys for these children that ain't gonna play with them but for one day and throw them to the side.
Tell the truth, girl. Tell the truth.
Exactly.
But it was fun though. That was the thing. You would be tired afterwards. Your feet would be hurting, but just being out there in the hustle and bustle with everyone else after you've eaten and with your family, it was just like a fun tradition that we did. So yeah.
My mom did it. She taught me to do it in one day. One
Oof.
year I was just like, why am I here, Lord? Why am I here?
Yeah, it's rough.
But it was like a reunion at Walmart because I was seeing so many people, like old classmates, old neighbors that I hadn't seen, because people religiously participate. Like, I mean, the watch I have on now is a Black Friday watch, that she purchased at Walmart. But now, people are getting real crafty. So they have Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
But I hate that they don't be having but a few items of one thing,
Right.
and be having everybody at the store and you ain't got but 50
In a
of the
frenzy.
thing of quantity and it's gone before you know it.
Really?
Crazy.
You done got trampled and can't even get
I'm
what you
telling
want.
It's happened too. It's
Folk
happened
fighting
before.
and honey, it's ridiculous.
Well, traditionally for us, I say growing up, or even in my younger adult, Black Friday shopping was not a thing in my family. The Friday after was being lazy.
Oof.
If family spent the night or we spent the night, with family, getting up, having a little breakfast, and then eating them leftovers and watching Good Times or whatever. Start watching whatever, is coming out. Or we would do like, now one thing we would do, because we just were TV movie people, there used to be back pre-COVID when the movie theaters was,
They were open.
whatever the Thanksgiving movie or whatever, we may get together and go out to a movie. Now, when my parents got older and grandchildren came into play, bless God, then they were like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. They won't no real Black Friday. Like they won't there in the night or anything. They get up early. My dad go see what he can find, and he's ex-military, so they'll go to the PX, the military store on the base, go drive to base, see what deals they can find and things like that. And that place is not as crowded. So, I myself, I probably only participated one time, and it wasn't at Walmart. I forgot what line I was in. It might have been a Toys R Us. It might have been a Toys R Us line. And by the time I got there, I wasn't really dedicated. By the time I got up, I felt like
you gotta fight your way through to
let me get out here and see what they're doing. They had already scooped up everything that was really deeply cut, and then they were being tricky by it. Only from this hour to this hour was the price this, and then after that, I was like, "This is trash. This is they trick you, So I'm more of I'll participate in Cyber Mondays. And I probably this year, I will say this, because my stepmom is into Black Friday shopping. I think with her family it's a thing, and to bond with her, I'm probably going to give it the old go. But and then because of COVID, it's gonna look different anyway. It's not gonna be, hopefully not as bad. But yeah, I'm gonna give it the old try it. If she want to roll up to Raleigh, I'm gonna probably roll up to Raleigh on that Friday.
I have nothing within me desires to be out anywhere on Friday after Thanksgiving. Like seriously, I envision myself sleeping in, waking up, maybe chilling, like you said, eating them leftovers, buy me a couple of good movies, have me a cup of coffee. I just want to be thankful and rest.
Right, amen. Thank God.
If I do anything, what I probably will be doing is really doing my focusing on Christmas decorations and stuff like that, because that was something that we used to traditionally do. My grandmother, the day after Thanksgiving, we put our tree up. Like she was on it. My mama, bless her little heart, she got Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff up in the house. I said, this is a lot going on. Which one you gonna honor? So
Mm.
I look forward to that. I do.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, ladies,
Nice.
I think this has been a good conversation. Very enlightening to kind of get some perspective on what you guys' Thanksgivings were like growing up and traditions that you have and traditions that you'll be creating soon. We just want to encourage all of our listeners as we get ready to do our wraparound um, last thoughts and words of encouragement or anything that you want to say. We'll start with April and Holly, and I'll wrap it up.
Well, I enjoyed this conversation. We just needed a break from all that other stuff. And
Yeah.
I guess my final words is to just tell people enjoy your holiday. Like if you don't feel like shopping, don't go shopping.
Yeah.
Just chill. Enjoy your family. Don't turn on any news stations.
Please.
I'm a if you somewhere that's blessed to have the Hallmark channel, turn on the Hallmark channel.
Mm-hmm.
Start your Christmas movie watching, or you're decorating, or you're sleeping, or your deep conversations. Just in that's really, I don't want to draw it out. All I want to tell to our family, our listeners, is to enjoy your holiday. We all need this rest.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. Enjoy that good food, and amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I would ditto that. Enjoy your time, with your family. Be safe. Don't over worry or, do what you need to do to prepare, to
Mhm.
because sometimes it can be cooking and stuff can be real stressful for people and prepare like they said if you got to get up the night before or the day before to prep everything just so your Thanksgiving day is not so stressful and
Hmm.
tiresome so that you can really eat enjoy and fellowship with your family and just encouragement to singles once again if you don't have any family the suggestion was given for a friend and what do y'all call it a
Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving.
friendsgiving yeah to do that just do what you can just don't be alone especially around this time because nobody wants to be alone for the holidays so
Right.
get together with some people at your church fellowship with someone that and everything is going to be all right and we're going to
Everything's gonna
enjoy
be all right.
and we almost done with 2020 we my Lord, we have made it this far, and we gonna make it
Oh,
to
Jesus.
the end, my Lord.
Oh, that's funny.
So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
let's keep hope alive, and know that it's only up from here, because my Lord, we have experienced some
All
things.
the way up. All the way.
So
Okay.
there we go. I ain't gonna ramble no more. Go ahead, sis.
I would ditto everything that the ladies have said. So I'm not gonna say what they said. I ditto everything that they said. But I think the thing that I would want to say to encourage our listeners is that, the holidays is already a tender spot for a lot of people for various reasons.
Mhm.
Loss and family members and things of that nature, memories. And so when you couple that with our current situation that's taken place within us and the isolation that we've all been experiencing
Yeah.
since COVID, I think it just makes everything heightened. But it has also made me be very appreciative. So even though I've
Mhm.
joked about, kind of just wanting to chill, Thanksgiving is going to hit a little bit different for 2020 because
Yeah.
it's going to totally
Really
make me more
thankful, my Lord.
appreciative. Yeah, really
Yeah.
thankful.
Mhm.
And, thankful for life, health, and strength.
Yes.
Um, so I think even in the midst of all that's taken place in our nation, in our country, in this world, we're entering into the holiday seasons. Be intentional about being thankful because with all that we've seen this year, if we're thankful for nothing, we can be thankful for life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, find some people to hang out with, friends, family, church members, fraternities, sororities, whoever, but don't spend it alone.
That's right.
And so again, this has been another episode of the Truth Reveal podcast. We thank you and appreciate you for taking time out your schedule to listen to us chop it up. We would ask for you to like us, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and share, and then share again. And so we pride ourselves on providing content that's relatable and that's good and that's truth-based. And so we're going to continue to do that as we're wrapping up season 3. We will have something for you guys next week, but we're going to be enjoying our family and friends. So you won't see a full out conversation, but we're gonna leave something for the people. Little something for you. But we just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.